Hey everybody, my name is Dr. Groff from Terlep Chiropractic. We're doing another video today in our educational series, and today we will be talking about underarm deodorant. So everybody always tries to avoid being that smelly, stinky person out in public, but there are some hidden dangers with underarm deodorant. So today I will talk about them, as well as I will recommend different types of deodorant that we can use that's not going to harm our bodies. So there's usually two types of underarm deodorant, and they are antiperspirants and just deodorant. So the differences between those two is the antiperspirants usually have aluminum inside of them, and what that aluminum will do is it actually clogs the pores under your arms so that you cannot secrete sweat. The other thing that the antiperspirants will do is we all have bacteria under our arm, and what happens is that bacteria they feed on sweat. So when they feed on the sweat, they're going to release an odor, and that's our body odor. So again, the antiperspirants will block those sweat pores so the sweat can't come out. And then the other thing it will do is there's chemicals inside of it that will actually destroy those types of bacteria. So all in all, sounds great. Yeah, antiperspirants, I'm not gonna sweat, I'm not gonna have pit stains, I'm not gonna smell bad, but the process of those antiperspirants are what we need to look at. So aluminum is very, very bad for the body. So yes, it clogs the pores, but it doesn't just clog the pores, it also enters into the body and passes through your bloodstream. A lot of studies show that aluminum tends to find its way into the breast tissue, so it can cause, it's not completely studied or researched yet, but it can cause cancer, and it can also cause Alzheimer's as well. So aluminum is something that we want to try to avoid in all deodorants. So we talked about the antiperspirants. We're going to talk about just regular old deodorant now. So like I said, the antiperspirants will actually block those sweat pores. Deodorant is just going to have those chemicals that will go in and will eat away at the bacteria and destroy those bacteria. So you still sweat. Sweating is a good thing, by the way. That is a body's natural response. When you start to overheat, the body tries to expel that heat through sweat. So I know some people will say, oh geez, like I come from a family, we're just all sweaters. Great, that's awesome. You know, your body is regulating itself better than others. So sweat is not a bad thing. That is a normal function of the body, especially here in Florida. So I talked about some of the chemicals that are in these deodorants that eat away at the bacteria. So some of those chemicals are parabens, it's going to be phthalates, it's going to be triclosans. So all fancy, terminology for these chemicals, all of which are bad. So they are all endocrine disruptors. Endocrine disruptors, again, are going to have effects on our hormones in our body, so it can alter our hormones, which, again, not a good thing. We don't want to alter the chemistry inside of our body. It's in a state of homeostasis, which is a balance of your body. So your body, again, you get hot, you start to sweat. You get cold, you start to shiver. That is all internal. It's not something you have to think about. It's just something that naturally occurs in the body. So the last thing that you want to do is alter these hormones inside of your body. All right, so we talked about some of the stuff to not use. So now you're probably thinking, well, what should I use? So a couple of things that we can use is something called rock salt. Rock salt is fantastic. It will actually show up as, it'll look like alum salt, which is aluminum. But the big difference between the aluminum and the rock salt is that it is too big for it to enter into the pores of our body. So rock salt is a great thing to use. Another good thing to use is baking soda. I know it sounds a little funny, but basically you take baking soda, you want to wet your finger, get some baking soda, rub it around in that area. That's going to neutralize some of that bacteria in a natural way, as well as reduce the body odor. And the last thing here, this one's a little bit funny, but you can use distilled vinegar or apple cider vinegar. Again, great neutralizer for those bacteria and a great way to neutralize body odor as well. If you're worried about smelling like apple cider vinegar, you can actually add a little bit of essential oils, natural essential oils into it to help mitigate that apple cider vinegar smell.